Hi, today we're going to be doing the indoor scene of a 1 point perspective. Yesterday we worked on the outdoors and things that go back to the vanishing point in the very center. And today we're going to switch it up and we're going to put our vanishing point a little bit higher. So above the middle point, wherever you want that to go. And that way that we have like less stuff up on the ceiling that we might want to display and more stuff down on the floor. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect my corners to this vanishing point. While you're following along, you should make sure that you do all the things that I do. And so if you need to pause the video because it's going too fast, and work on what you need to, and then restart it up again, go for it. So just like the 1 point perspective that was outdoors, there's going to be sides that go parallel with our edges of our paper, this way and this way, and then there's also going to be sides that go back to the vanishing point. So our walls of our indoor, they're going to be the parallel to the outside, and you can decide, do I want to display something over here? Well, maybe, so I'll give it a little bit more room like this, making sure it's parallel, because if it's not parallel down here, it's going to be a wonky room. And then over here, checking my edge over here to make sure it's pretty good. Okay, so now we've got our inside, and this doesn't quite look like it. It's a little strange right now, but if I were to erase this, which I don't know that I want you to because you might use these things, but let's go ahead and do it because you'll use different lines. Go ahead and erase this out of here. That way it gives you a clean slate, and now I've got a view of a room, like as if I'm looking in, and this is my back wall, and this is the floor and the ceiling and the two walls near it. So I'm able to start placing things into this room. I think we should probably have a way of getting in first. So I'm gonna make a door on this wall right here. And our door is gonna go all the way up to about here so that a person that's tall can fit in. So I'm going to make this a parallel line, like so. It's a little bit fuzzy there. Okay. And this is going to go all the way up to there. And then I got to keep my vanishing point. My top of my door is going to go back to the vanishing point, like this. And then my side goes straight down. So I've got like the start of a door, but it's not very detailed. So what I'm gonna do is make an inside section, and this is like the door frame. And this is gonna go in like so. This one goes to the vanishing point still, and repeating here with a little corner. Okay, so now it's starting to look a little bit more like a door, but we should probably put a handle. So I'm going to put a handle on there. You can change up your handle and make it more interesting. That would be just fine. All right, so now I'm going to put some baseboards. After I've got that, I can put some baseboards in here. So I think I'll just put them a little bit higher here, and then when I get to something, I'm going to stop. So maybe just a little lower than that. Okay, when I get to the door, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop here. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing here all the way across, making sure I'm doing parallel lines. And then the same thing this way. Making sure I intersect right here where it wants me to. So, like so. Okay, so now it looks like I have baseboards around there and it's starting to look more like a room. All right, there, that's a little crisper. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to start putting a floor in there, depending on what kind of floor you want, but I'm going to put like a, you could do like a checkered floor, or you could do a wooden floor. That's probably what I'll do, is either one. I'll display both. We're gonna have a funky room in here. Okay, so I'm just gonna make some lines, making sure they go back to the vanishing point because they're on the section that needs to. It's a little tricky to know which ones go to the vanishing point and which ones don't, but as a general rule, if it's going straight up and down like this, if it's on this plane, it's going to be following the direction. If it's on the plane going this way, it's going to go back to the vanishing point. So I'm just making sure they're kind of evenly spaced. Okay, not too bad spacing wise. If I wanted this to look like a wooden floor, I would probably just add some details in there. Like maybe I could make some shorter, you know how wooden floors are like that. Some shorter, some might go across here, some might be all the way, maybe this length. And I could even put some wood grain situation in here. So it kind of looks like a wooden floor. I could do that over all of them. So the more detail you put into this, the more it's going to look like whatever you want it to. Okay, and then on the other side here, I'm going to do like a checker floor. So probably to here. This time I'm going to do parallel lines with the bottom. And I'm just going to make sure they're kind of evenly spaced. And that would give me like a checkered floor that sometimes you see in kitchens. If I wanted to color every other one. It's starting to look interesting. I should probably take more time, but this is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so if you do too much detail on here, when you actually start putting other things in there, you might see it. So you make sure you're drawing light as you're working today. Okay, so we got to start putting some things in here. I think I'm going to put a table so we can maybe see what that looks like. And maybe like couch situation. If I wanted to hang things up on the walls, it'd be kind of similar to the door. I could do a picture frame. These go out like so, and we could do like a Vincent van Gogh sunflower situation in here. There you go. Okay, so the table's going to be over here. I'm going to go ahead and make the edge of my table, so I have to kind of think about how high it needs to be. This is going to be my edge of my table, like so. And I could then make the walls coming, or the edges coming this way. And see, it ran into my floor, which is a bit of an issue. I guess I didn't really need the edge there. I probably needed the edge on this side. And then now I can put that edge on, so making sure I do straight up and down. A little section there. I could even color it in, that way it doesn't distract from all the other things that are happening down there. That's a pretty large table. But now I probably want to put some legs on it, so my legs can go straight down like this, and then back a little bit, so back and then straight up to give it that back edge of my leg. There's one leg on the table. I might not see this leg, so we're gonna leave it. But I'll put another leg over here and possibly some right there. I probably want my legs to be the same size, so I'm using my ruler. Let's see. That looks about there. Okay. Probably a little too wide. And we would be looking at this way, so this one would go, this side would go back just a little. To see that. Okay, and we do see a little bit of this leg, like so. Sometimes you might not see all the different things, but you do want to make sure it's not floating. Like this one is floating in the air, and so if that's the case, I might want to make my table shorter and bring my leg down. That way it's not like up on the baseboard, not looking real. So I think I'll do that, just so it doesn't look weird. Bring this a little shorter. And this, now that looks a little better. Okay, so how to do a table. As you can see, probably don't dig to China because it's really hard to come back from that, right? Probably same is gonna happen over here. Sorry about it. I drew too dark and it shows up. Okay, so on this one, we're gonna want to make a couch. All right, so I'm gonna start with the top of the couch. It's gonna like sit about this high up. And then my edges are gonna be parallel with the wall here. And then the bottom is going to go straight out. This is a pretty boxy couch. You can add your own personality if you want to. You can also look up really great ideas. Okay, so this is all a little distracting down here, so I'm going to get rid of it. This is like the seat of my couch. And you can see it almost feels like a chair could. So if I just shortened it, that's how you would maybe make a chair. But I'm going to go ahead and make this three-dimensional, so I'm going to give it a little edge. Just like we learned in Art 1, how to make a cube. This is the same thing, except for one side goes back to the vanishing point. Like that. Okay, and then the same thing here. I can make this 3D too. And I could make this taller if I wanted to, which I think I will. Once again, things you might want to think about. Is it hovering on the baseboard? Does that look strange? It might. Okay, at this point you could draw like a couch cushion on, you know. Looks a little bit more like a bench. But and then I need some legs. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did here. Put some legs on there and making sure that they go long enough to where they're actually sitting on the ground. That doesn't look right. I did the wrong way. This has got to go back to the vanishing point, the ends here, and then this is parallel. There we go. That looks better. And then the same here. It's best to make your legs all the same size, which is helpful in this one, because I just line it up with that. Could I technically do like a bed the same way? I could. Okay, so got a kind of a bench couch sort of situation, a little bit angled, but it's on there. So I could do a lot more other things. I could add a chandelier or a light. making sure that I have like those forms in there. To really make that make sense, right? This is my light. I would suggest looking online. I'm going to post a few examples of things that you could try for yourself. And now that we've got this finished, we're able to move on to designing your own scene and what your character is going to be in.